Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and today, what an early Zeppelin piece from May of 1969, a concert handbill. But you know something, this is the first American Zeppelin piece, not counting newspaper ads, actually to be posted, see it's blank on the back, either handbill or poster, the first one to show a dirigible and make a play on their name. Look at that. The very first piece as best as I could research, so that makes it quite cool for sure. May 2nd and 3rd of 1969 at the Rose Palace in Pasadena. And let me move it in a little bit closer, and as you can see right under my finger there, it does say Scenic Sounds Presents, and then the big Led Zeppelin, and the opening act, Julie Driscoll, Brian Odger, and the Trinity. And then in a couple of different places there you can see that it says May 2nd and 3rd, 8 to 1 o'clock. That's kind of interesting. 5 hours for just two bands? Boy, that must have been quite... I wonder if they each took the stage twice. I don't know, but that's quite a jam. I don't think so. And then you've got that swirling orange and brown design that looks really a little bit psychedelic, a little bit cool. It's definitely a nice design, that's for sure. And then you've got that darn long, skinny airship that looks nothing like the kind of dirigible logos and pictures that Zeppelin would use for marketing for pretty much the rest of their career, many years to come. It's sort of a, that's what makes it look so odd on this handbill. It's such a non-Led Zeppelin type Zeppelin, I guess you could say. It's pretty interesting, and certainly nothing like the Hindenburg crash, which Zeppelin put, of course, on the cover of their first album, which was already out at this point. This is a rigid British airship, the type of which the Royal Air Force in England used in 1919. So I got to take my hat off, though, to the designer of this handbill. I don't know if he was an independent graphic artist, or if he worked for Scenic Sounds, or if he worked even for the Rose Palace, but to make a play on Zeppelin's name when nobody else was, that's pretty visionary. That's pretty cool. So, and something else besides the airship, this might be the best looking concert piece to this point for Zeppelin in America, although beauty, of course, always in the eye of the beholder. But let's take it, there's very little concert pieces, again, meaning either handbills or posters, that Zeppelin had in America up to this point. Their first appearance on a concert piece in America, to good old Bill Graham, reliable Bill Graham, right? And this thing from January of 1969, nothing close to a Zeppelin. It's got an old Lincoln Continental there pictured, but it's also, Country Joe and the Fishes poster. They were the headliner, I should say, and so this is very early. It's the first American concert poster or handbill, though, so you got to give it credit for that. And then the next one is a little bit later in January. You've got the Boston Tea Party here with a piece that's sort of a non-design, isn't it? You've just got the arrow and stuff like that, so that's certainly not a contender for design or dirigible. Then in February, next month, in 1969, you've got this nice handbill from Toronto, Canada, interestingly, the Rockpile Club. And, it's nice, but it is black and white. And once again, with Zeppelin's name, there's absolutely no hint of any kind of airship or anything like that. And then for the band's second American tour, things getting a little more artistic, but you've certainly seen this if you know your Bill Graham posters. And that, of course, is the avocado poster. And, opinions vary as to graphically how nice it is. Tootin, the designer, just like on the first Bill Graham poster I showed you, was Randy Tootin. And at this point, he was a little bit of a kitchen. He wanted people to put the concert posters up in their kitchen, so he did a little bit of that for a while. So, let me mute my phone here, if I may. So you have that second Bill Graham piece, and then finally, I have to admit, the piece of right before, the day before this event occurred, is the contender for, best looking piece perhaps up to this point, and that would be this beauty from the UC Irvine. Look at that. Now that's really nice, definitely. There's no question about that. That's a great looking small poster for May 1st of 1969 at UC Irvine. But interestingly, still no dirigible, but what it did bring into the picture was that publicity photo of Zeppelin that the band would use for their marketing pretty much all through the rest of 1969. So you go from that May 1, then you go to this for May 2 and 3, and of course the first appearance of the dirigible is what I'm riffing on so much with this video. Actually, as long as I'm there, I'll mention that the next dirigible to appear on a Zeppelin concert advertising piece was 3 weeks later, which a poster that I've also blogged here in this space, and Zeppelin and Who collectors. It's a very well-known poster from Columbia, Maryland, but I'll tell you that dirigible qualification is very, very minor. See over the pink Led Zeppelin name, You can see this is obviously a photograph of it. Way in the back there, you got this tiny white, Zeppelin. So that's, that's a pretty subtle homage to their name and play on their name. It's, the so-called dirigible visual representation on Zeppelin concert pieces didn't really grab until the next year. Along the way, though, through the rest of 1969, there were simple little attempts. And here's an example from Salt Lake City, actually, from July. This is a concert poster. It's a picture of it with a Vanilla Fudge headlining, but July of '69. See that Led Zeppelin graphic? Boy, what a simple little, airship or Zeppelin you have there. So, by the way, I want to thank ledzeppelin.com for being a great website and really helping me with the research. I mean, not personally, but I mean, being able to look things up could really coalesce all this research. So, getting back to the handbill then, down there below you have lights by Thomas Edison, sound by Black Gold, and all the usual ticket information. But it is kind of funny at the bottom, something I want to point out that's very, almost unique and certainly very 60s-like. I don't know if you can see it, but it says there at the bottom, go to the end of the Pasadena freeway, turn left, go 1 block, turn right. How quaint is that? That's just, I think that's a great part of the handbill. Wording like that you just don't see very often. And it was just very, very local and homegrown. Really a special piece. By the way, way down at the bottom then, if you can see that, it says, next week, the filmed farewell performance of Cream. Aha. So, in a way, this is a 60s handbill that has 2 guitar gods on it, both Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton. Eric, of course, being represented on celluloid. So, anyway, sweet piece. Really nice for Zeppelin fans. Hope you enjoyed seeing it. They didn't make a poster of this. We just have the small handbill. So it's really nice. If you want one of these, this is the size, the only size to get. And hope you enjoyed seeing it. Thanks a lot for stopping by. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.